So to get us started, we are starting Unit 1. I know that probably feels a little strange because we just took a test, but what we did was, according to the curriculum, Unit 8, now we're going to start with Unit 1 and really dig in from here. Anybody that does not have a book for this class, you've got just a binder with loose leaf pages. If you have a spiral-bound book, pull that out. We're going to be in that today. If you have a binder, because I ran out of books, then you need to get a packet from me. Again, if you have a spiral-bound book, just pull that out. Everything you need is in there. These packets are only for people that came into the class late and after I had run out of books. What I want you to spend the first 5 minutes doing, it's on the table in front of you. It is called a self-knowledge survey. This guy right here. First 10 questions, you're just going to go through and, agree, disagree, strongly disagree. So rate yourself on those 10 things. And then you're going to answer the 3 questions down below. Questions 1 and 2 down below have to do specifically with math. But question 3 is about anything. Question 3 is not math specific. This is about any time you've learned something new in your life. Whether it was how to change the oil on your car, or how to do a back handspring, or how to do anything that you didn't previously know how to do. That's what I want on question 3. Take about 5 minutes or so, fill this out. When you're done with it, it goes in the black tray up here on this cart by the calculators. And then we're going to be in your book from there. So I'm only going to give about 5 minutes of class time for you guys to do this. Okay? When you finish up the survey, please come bring it up to this black tray up here. So once you get all done with it, please bring it up here. And then if you've got a book, you'll go to page 74. If you have a binder, this is going to be the 3rd page of the new paper packet.
You want to do the questions? Do the questions?
Yes, do the questions at the bottom also. The directions that I gave for that is that 3rd question down at the bottom isn't math specific. This is about any skill or anything that you've learned in your life. Try to have that survey finished up in about the next minute and a half, and turn it in for me. No right answers, no wrong answers. Like I said, I just want to get to know you as math learners. Audrey, did you get yours finished up here? So page 74 in the spiral-bound books. So if you have your spiral-bound workbook for the class, please go ahead and open it up to page 74. In the paper packets for the binders, this would be page 3, 3rd page. So right there you go. Awesome. So as we begin this unit we're going to be talking about algebraic expressions. And today our big focus is on estimation skills. Using things, mental math, making reasonably accurate predictions so that you know whether what you've found when we later get to solving things, how reasonable is it? How reasonable is that solution? Being able to know ahead of time the reasonableness of different answers, like, well, I know it can't be bigger than this, and I know it can't be smaller than this, will help you make sure that you're getting answers that are within the realm of correct. All right? So that's our focus for today. We're going to start off with a video clip, and I apologize for the audio. It's my board, it's not the video. So if you go back and watch it later, it'll sound a whole lot clearer. And unfortunately, I can't fix the sound. But after we watch this video clip, I'll pause it, and we'll kind of talk through what she was saying. You should be able to make out most of it, but if you can't hear it, like I said, I'll summarize. So we are looking at this activity called Bucky the Badger. Bucky the Badger is the team mascot for the University of Wisconsin. So I want to watch this video clip, take in as much as you can. There's a little bit of space up at the top of this page where it says, like, restate this in your own words. See if you can pick out the big ideas of what she's saying, just so that you have it for reference later, okay? Oh, and now the audio's not working at all. Hold on just a second. Earlier today, it was really fuzzy, and now it's not coming through at all. Let me see what's going on. It's all the way up there. Let's see where it's at here. Okay. Oh, technology is just a joy, isn't it? All right, let me see if I can get it to work. Share audio, yes. Okay. All right, let's try it again. Okay. Technology is great when it works. It just so rarely works. Hold on. Let me turn that down just a little bit. Like I warned you, it's super garbly. Okay, did anybody hear what she said at first? She said, since it appears that we like reporting on cheating in sports. And now she's getting ready to intro this story.
Cheating news. When the University of Wisconsin football team scores, the team and all its fans are very happy. The mascot for the team, Bucky the Badger, I'm sure is also happy. And that happiness is tempered because every time new points go up on the Wisconsin scoreboard, Bucky Badger, the mascot, has to do push-ups for every point that Wisconsin has put on the board. So Wisconsin scores it.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here because I want to make sure you guys are actually hearing what she's saying. So every time Wisconsin scores in their football games, their mascot, Bucky the Badger, has to do push-ups. Okay?
Touchdown on an extra point, Bucky does 7 push-ups. Then they score a field goal, the Wisconsin score goes from 7 to 10, and Bucky does 10 push-ups. 10 more push-ups, I should say. If Wisconsin then scores another touchdown on an extra point, their score goes to 17, Bucky then does 17 more push-ups. Putting his total push-up.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right here again because this is a big idea. When Wisconsin scores for the first time, they got a touchdown. They got the extra point, so now the scoreboard says 7. Bucky gets up on his little mat in front of everybody and does 7 push-ups. When they score again, he's going to do push-ups. He does the number of push-ups based on what the score on the scoreboard is. So if they score a touchdown first and then a field goal, the scoreboard says 10. So the second time he goes to do push-ups, he doesn't just do the 3 for the field goal. He does 10 push-ups. He did 7 before, because that's what the scoreboard said. When they score again, they got a field goal. Scoreboard now says 10. He does 10 more push-ups. So over here where it says total push-ups, this is a running total. So at this point, after the field goal, he's done 17 push-ups total. Then if they score another touchdown with the extra point, scoreboard now says 17, right? So he drops and does 17 push-ups right then. but he's already done 10 and done 7. So all together at this point, he would have done 34 push-ups. Do you guys kind of understand how this is working?
Okay, can I re-explain it just to make sure?
She's not going to explain it again, but I'm happy to
No,
explain
I'm
it again.
saying, can I say it to you?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. So, if they got 7, because I don't understand whatever we talk like the squares.
Okay.
If they got 7, right? He did 7 push-ups, and then they gained 3. He has to do the 7 and the 3. all
Yes.
over.
Yes, he does the 7 all over plus the 3 extra.
Okay.
And every time they score, whatever the scoreboard says at that
How
point
many he does.
is how many he does right then. You're absolutely right. All right, are you guys ready?
Time by that point of the game up to 34. Here's the problem, which has given rise to the mystery. On Saturday, Wisconsin football team scored 83 points. Wisconsin 83, Indiana 20. Wisconsin scored 83 points.
Wisconsin put 83 points up on the scoreboard. Oh, come on, hold on. Now this is going to... No. Be quiet and go back. I just wanted to be able to see this. Be quiet. I'm going to go back to the score. Sometimes technology is not my friend. Today is apparently one of those days. So yeah, they played IU. IU had 20 points. Wisconsin had 83 points. And now I don't even know where we are here. Hold on. So what I want you guys to do with a partner while I work on getting this back up on the screen properly, you guys have a question on your page there. A couple questions. I want you to work out with either the partner at your table or a small group of people. It doesn't just have to be one other person. If Wisconsin scored 83 points, how many push-ups do you think Bucky did through the course of the entire game? And as you're working on coming up with what you think is a reasonable estimate, I want you to do a high and a low. So what is a number of push-ups that you know is way too high for Bucky to have done? What is a number of push-ups that you know is way too low for Bucky to have done? And then use that to see if you can try to estimate how many push-ups he did total in the game. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes or so working with your partner in small groups. Talk it out. See if you can come up with that high and low and where you think this falls. All right?
Total is 83.
The total for the game for Wisconsin is 83, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how many points they got, right?
That's how many points they put up on the scoreboard by the end of the game. Yeah, they kind of royally creamed IU.
Yeah. So okay. So is that how do you find the answer?
So I'll walk through again like how the number of push-ups that Bucky does is decided, all right? So going from the end of the game and kind of working backwards mentally. The very last time that Bucky dropped and did push-ups, he did 83 in a row because that's what the scoreboard said. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Now, the time before that he did push-ups, I don't know whether they got a touchdown or a field goal that took them to the 83, but whatever they scored before that, let's pretend it was a field goal. Their last one was a field goal. So before they won the game and it was over and he did his 83 push-ups, the scoreboard would have said 80, right? Because the field goals were 3. So when the scoreboard said 80, he did 80 push-ups. And then after that, he did the 83 push-ups because they scored again. Are you starting to understand how this is working? Okay.
I'm still like a little lost.
So every time they score, their side of the stadium goes crazy. The scoreboard changes to show the new points. And whatever the scoreboard changes to, Bucky gets on his little mat and they raise him up so that everybody can see him. And he does that many push-ups. Not just from the score that they got right then. So if they got a touchdown, he doesn't just do 7 push-ups. He does whatever new score is on the scoreboard.
So basically you add 80 from the first one and then 83.
Yes.
So that's how many he did. Right?
Well, that's how many he did like in the last 2 times he did push-ups. We want to figure out how many push-ups Bucky did throughout the whole game, from the beginning of the first quarter to the end of the fourth quarter.
So did they win another 80? Or like after the first 2 he did they win another game? Like
So this is all just one game.
Oh.
This is all one game. Yeah, huh?
So
Basically, IU was totally overmatched at this point. Like, this wasn't a game, this was a bloodbath. Like, I could just see the IU fans in the stands, like, by halftime, they're sneaking out. Like, don't look at us.
so if it's 4 quarters,
All right.
13,
Did you have your hand up, dear?
15.
Okay, I thought you had your hand up for me. Are you ready to turn this
12
in?
is 15.
Okay,
Oh, thank you.
you're welcome.
13,
Uh-huh.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, I guess it was
Right.
I was like,
So it was not 12.
She was like, no. She was like, oh, you're right. I was like,
Who was that?
He got 10 touchdowns.
Oh, we're talking
Because they can do a 2-point
I was like, I thought it
They could. I will tell you, like, is that something that you would want to know? Is whether or not they got any 2-point conversions? They did not. I do know that. And, well, any field goals that they got, if it was after a touchdown, it was worth 1, or if it was just a straight up field goal, it was worth 3. Question. Are you guys running into any other information that you wish you would have? Like, do you think it's important to have any other information to be able to answer this?
Yes.
What do you want to know?
How much they scored in each quarter?
How much they scored in each quarter? Good question. Tell me why you want to know.
Calculator. So it's like add it and then like,
So you can kind of chunk it out? Okay. So I've got a request over here for how many points in each quarter. I will get you that information in just a minute. Is there anything else that you guys are finding that you would want or need to know in order to be able to actually calculate this? How many touchdowns? Anything else you want to know? How it works, okay. Is there anything else that you guys think you need? So there's a question about scoring, and I like this question. Somebody talk to me about how football games are scored. How much is a touchdown worth?
7 points.
Close.
No.
6 points for a touchdown. Why do most of the time we see 7 go up on the board?
Because they get the field goal.
They get the extra point. Do teams always get the extra point with the field goal? Okay. So touchdowns are worth 6, but if they get the extra point, then touchdowns are worth 7. Tell me more about the scoring. Is that the only way they can score? Safeties are 2 points, 2-point conversion. Anything else?
Field goals are 3 points.
Field goals are 3 points. Do you guys want to know anything else about this game in regards to scores like that?
I don't think we say it. Someone say it real quick so I can write it down. 6 is touchdown. They get an extra point for a field goal.
They get the option to kick for a field goal if they make a touchdown, and if they get the field goal, then they get an extra point.
Field goal that extra. Right, what's the other one?
A field goal just by itself, like you didn't get a touchdown right before it, a field goal by itself is worth 3. And then there's something called a safety, 2-point conversion. That is, after a touchdown, they run for another touchdown instead of kicking a field goal.
I can't keep it. Shut up for our losing with the safety.
So, what else do you guys want to know? What'd you say? How did they score 83 points? Okay, so let me see if I can remember this. I've got it on a different slide, but I'm going to see what I can remember. If I'm not mistaken, they got 10 points in the first quarter. In the second quarter, they got 28 points. In the third quarter, they got 21 points. And in the fourth quarter, They got 24 points. Somebody double check that that adds up to 83. I'm pulling it from my memory right now. So it'd be 10, 28, 21, 24. So that's the breakdown for the quarters. Give me a number that you know is way too low for Bucky to have done as far as push-ups go. 20. Give me another number. Something that's closer to probably what the actual number is. Although there's nothing wrong with 20. We're going to use that as like a starting point. 14 is definitely too low. 20 is too low. 70 is too low. How do you know 70 is too low? I agree with you. Tell me how you know. Tell me how you came up with that.
Because every time they scored, he had more push-ups over the one that he already did. They added some more to it.
Absolutely. Because how many push-ups did he do the last time they scored? 83. Before they scored for the last time, what's the smallest score that could have been on the scoreboard?
The smallest?
Six.
No,
Actually, 3.
82.
Now, think about if 83 is the ending, right before they scored their last time, before they won the game and it was all over, thankfully for IU.
80?
Could have been 80 on the scoreboard. It could also have been what? Could it have been any lower than 80 before they scored the last time? 76. 76 is the smallest it could have been before they scored the last time, right? Assuming that they got a touchdown with the field goal for the last time they scored. So 76 would have been how many push-ups Bucky did the time before the last, at least, right? So talk to me. I've heard a couple really good numbers. 70 is definitely too small. Can anybody think of another number that's bigger than 70 but still definitely too small? How many? 83 is definitely too small. Anything else? 100 is definitely too small. All right, so I kind of like where we're going with this. I like the kind of thinking that I'm seeing. Talk to me about a number that you know has to be too big. There's no way Bucky could have done 1,000 push-ups.
300.
How many?
300?
300?
That's a lot.
That might be too low, but let's keep that in mind. All right, so I kind of like these boundaries that we've got here. We've got somewhere between 100 and 1,000. Like we know it has to be bigger than 100. We know it has to be smaller than 1,000. If I were to ask you guys right now to give me your best guess for how many push-ups Bucky did. How many? What'd you say? No, what'd you say?
500.
500. I like that as a guess.
I was going to say that.
You said 450? Okay. Is there any other information that you guys want from me? Because I'm going to actually ask you to calculate this now. All right. I'm going to move around the room. If there is any other information that you want about this game, let me know. If I've got it, I'll give it to you. All right? Yep. I want you guys to try to figure out exactly how many push-ups Bucky did. Exactly how many. And if there's any other information that you think you need about this game, ask me. And if I know it, I'll tell you. What'd you say?
Do you have like each individual score that they made?
I do. Do you need it? Okay. Why?
Because I need to be able to add up the score for the past ones with the dirty ones over and over again to get the most accurate number.
Okay. Do you want to know like the exact order, or do you just need to know how many touchdowns, how many field goals? Think about it for just a minute and tell me which one you want. And then I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you need these back?
Woo. Yes, whatever you don't use, I need back.
I want them in order.
You want them in order. Okay. Guys, I've had a new request for information, and I will grant it. However,
Field goal is one, the field goal by itself is 30. You can only get a +2 after a touchdown.
yep.
Look at me.
All right, so I've had a request for more specifics on the scoring. Before I give this answer, I want to know, because the request is for the specific order, touchdowns, field goals, 2-point conversions, the whole 9 yards. I want to know whether it's important if I give it to you in order or if I just give you the total number. Like how many field goals, how many touchdowns, or do you need them in order?
No.
I've got some people saying in order.
Because they do a touchdown and they do a field goal, that changes the point of the field goal. So you're in order.
We need it in order. Well, and think about it this way for just a minute. If they got 2 touchdowns with the extra point and then a field goal, how many push-ups would Bucky have done by that point?
So what?
2 touchdowns with the extra point and then a field goal. 17 is what the scoreboard would say.
Yeah, so he did.
But he would have done how many touchdowns or how many push-ups first? 7. How many push-ups the second time? So 7 plus 14 is 21. And then the scoreboard goes to 17, right? So what's 21 plus 17? 38. Do you guys remember back here when she was talking about how this was working? If it was a touchdown, field goal, touchdown, that's how many total push-ups? Touchdown, field goal, touchdown is 34 push-ups. Touchdown, touchdown, field goal is 38 push-ups. So the order does matter. Order does matter. All right. I'm going to have to read this to you because it is...
11 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
Yeah, I heard you. 11 touchdowns, 2 field goals. Here's how they break down. In the first quarter, touchdown, then field goal. Touchdown, then field goal. In the second quarter, 4 touchdowns, all of them with the extra point. By the way, they got the extra point every time. In the third quarter, 3 touchdowns. And in the fourth quarter, it was field goal and then 3 touchdowns. So touchdown, field goal, 7 touchdowns in a row, then a field goal and 3 more touchdowns. I'm going to give you guys about 3-ish more minutes to see if you can come up with an accurate number for how many push-ups total Bucky did. Keep in mind those starting estimates that we had, the too high, too low, and kind of where we thought. As a group, we were saying like 100 is too low, 1,000 is too high, and then Dante ballparked it at about 500.
Yeah, that's me.
You said they got the extra point every touchdown? Every touchdown they got the extra point, they had no safeties, no 2-point conversions.
Do we get a prize when we get it right?
Yes?
Okay, yeah, me too. So 11 touchdowns, right? I can't see up there.
11 touchdowns total, but specifically it was asked for the order. It was touchdown, field goal, then 7 touchdowns in a row, then a field goal, and 3 more touchdowns.
So by halftime, they had 38 points.
2 field goals.
2 field goals total, 11 touchdowns total,
They got the extra point, it's on the extra 2 points?
extra 1 point. So every touchdown was worth 7.
Okay. And they
Every
got a
field goal by itself was worth 3.
And they had no safety.
Correct.
You
Yep.
can't add that second, you gotta put those together.
How much did you say?
258.
258?
Yeah.
So like, what are the 10s? I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding here.
Point, push-ups, total push-ups.
Got it. So remember, he didn't just stop and do push-ups once here. In the first quarter, they scored a touchdown, so he did 7 push-ups. Then they scored a field goal, so then he did 10 more push-ups. So in the first quarter, he did 17 push-ups. Thank you, Meow. So I'm really curious. In third period, I had like 3 or 4 people get really, really close, and 1 person got it dead on. Sorry, dear.
So what's the score?
Do this sort of did like these two where I kept cutting it off. And I'm getting 79. I need to see that.
So
I don't know about you.
whatever the scoreboard says, so you're showing what the scoreboard says, okay? After this touchdown, he did 7 push-ups. After this field goal, he did 10 more, so he's done 17 total. Then at this point, he did 17 push-ups, because that's what the scoreboard said. So it would be the 17 from before, plus this new 17, plus 24, plus 31, plus 38. Is that making sense? Okay. So you're almost there.
You definitely do it. You're proud.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes, this idea right here is exactly right. So remember, the team got a touchdown first, then they got a field goal. That'd be 7 points and then 3 points. And every time they score, he has to stop and do push-ups. So scoreboard says 7, he does 7 push-ups. Scoreboard then changes to 10 because they got the field goal. So now he drops and does 10 push-ups. He did 7 before, now he's doing 10, so he's done 17. Then they scored another touchdown. So now the scoreboard, instead of saying 10, says 17, so he does 17 push-ups. But before that, he had done 10 and 7, so he's done 7 plus 10 plus 17. And then they scored another touchdown. That took the scoreboard up to 24. So he did 24 push-ups. Anybody want to volunteer to be this mascot?
please tell me that.
I don't remember. I'm getting ready to play the video clip with what the final answer is, and so you'll get to check it. Do you guys want to know how many push-ups Bucky did? Okay.
300.
You ready?
328.
It's garbled again, but she puts it up on the screen. $573 push-ups. Nice. You were super close. Hey guys, can you give Dante a round of applause for his guess at the beginning? 500 was a really accurate guess.
It was my guess, actually.
Thank you. Awesome. He was the mouthpiece. Okay, do you guys want to know why they were reporting on this to begin with?
Because it's a lot.
573 push-ups. Here's what happened.
And on top of Austin.
You did all?
Okay. So hold on, guys. We're not quite done yet. We're almost done, but not quite. So yeah, the big question is whether or not that was the same Bucky, because when they put the 76 point up on the board, Bucky's just like, bye. Peace out. And then Bucky comes back out. Was it the same Bucky? because he was awful chipper when he was doing those last couple push-ups there. All right. Last thing we're going to do. Stop talking. Okay. Page 75 in your books. This is short and sweet. No calculators. You can do this without calculators. Yes, you can. Because I've already told you everything you need to know. Here's the fact. You can verify this with a calculator if you really need to, but I promise you 13 times 17 is 221. Using that fact without a calculator, tell me how I could figure out the answer to 13 times 1.7. So what would it be? Divide by 10. If we divided this by 10, then I would have to divide this by 10. So what would it be? 22.1. 22.1. Because if you divide the 17 by 10, it'll move the decimal point over one place. And if you do it to one side, have to do it to the other side. So how would I do the next one then? Because 13 times 17 is 221. What would this one be? 2,210. Talk to me about how you figured that out. Add a zero. Why? Yeah, the 13 got multiplied by a 10, so the 221 would also get multiplied by a 10. I want you guys to do at least 2 more on here before you put your books up. There is homework tonight that uses these same types of estimation skills. The homework is called Felicia's Drive. And again, I want you to work with some estimation skills, things that you can do mental math-wise. Mental math. And I want you to try to be as precise as you can be. But again, what we're after right now is estimation skills. Homework number 1 is due tomorrow. The Unit 1 test is scheduled for October 1st. That is your midterm. There's only 4 tests the first semester, so the second test is the halfway point. All right? I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.